This is sort of like Jungle Book style opening credits. And surprise, surprise, the Disney castle's been in India all along. Right away, Jon Favreau reminds us that he knows how to shoot action, and we quickly feel a distinct separation from the animated classic. But he also wants you to know he can tell a story. Even when there's already a story, he can make it better. This opening chase, ending in the dead tree, is the mirror and setup for Mowgli's final confrontation with Shere Khan.
Yeah, but if the bridge didn't break, I would have made it.
Mowgli's still got that occasionally self-destructive self-confidence. This might come up a bunch, but holy impressive realistic CGI, Batman. Catman? But I mean the lighting, the textures, the reality of the wolves, and the way the light brings Bagheera right into the real world. Mowgli has some appropriate scars that he'd definitely acquire living in the jungle, sans fur.
Come on, you're my brother, you have to play with me.
And it's right about now I know you're all thinking, what does CinemaWins' wife think about these wolf pups? You guessed it, she'd like to be friends with Gray. For my part, I'm amazed they were able to create the cutest little wolves without really Disneyifying their features. So, I'm impressed. Right out of the gate, we see Mowgli messing with reeds, braiding them together, setting up how different he actually is. A dry season time-lapse montage is the fastest way to uncover Peace Rock.
There's a rock. That's my rock, that's my rock. Nobody touches my rock, there's another rock.
We've got the astute observations king, who's maybe been watching a little too much Oprah. You know, The Secret? No vision board users out there?
Don't forget.
No hunting.
Peace Rock is a smart and relevant way to keep this movie PG. Hunting would be one-time realism, and photorealistic CGI gets in the way of making a kid's movie.
Oh, don't forget the truth.
I know the law, Bucks.
Although I appreciate that they still keep it realistic. Laws don't always protect you from predators.
Watch yourself, please.
I like that the largest and most imposing animals also seem to be the most mannerly and polite.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Ow! Sorry, my bad. I could pee on it.
Ironically enough, that would be just as helpful as peeing on a jellyfish sting. That's right, it's a myth. And that's your CinemaWins public service announcement for the week. Just the amount of work that had to go into a simple tracking shot past numerous animals is astounding. Each animal moves in its own way and makes its own unique sounds. They clearly took the time to get these tiny details right.
What was the rule about your tricks? No more tricks.
I could see why Gus would be sore about that after the bell trick.
In some packs, the runt gets eaten.
Honesty.
Man is forbidden!
Idris was a great buffalo, but the same way that Jennifer Goodwin is a bunny, Idris is absolutely a Bengal tiger. And again, I'm astounded by the shading effects and ridiculous amount of detail on Shere Khan. What a simple but amazingly photorealistic shot.
I'm sure he doesn't mean to come here and make threats, especially during a water truce.
It was at this point that I turned to my wife and said, plus a pack of wolves could take down a tiger, right? Right? We thought so. Talk about being given a false sense of security. The truth is, predatory animals avoid each other unless absolutely necessary, so no one really knows.
How many lives is a man cub worth?
How many lives?
Though this question and camera pan is foreshadowing something I may feel the need to remove a win for, it's still murder shadowing.
You will always be my son.
I wouldn't have thought a wolf could spur emotion in me. Testament to Lupita Nyong'o's talent. And how is that not a real wolf? Look at his fingers combing her hair. Also wolf hugging. I was a little sad to have no Colonel Hati, but this translation from an organized military to a species that should be revered and respected is a welcome change. Just in case y'all forgot, yeah, this is what we can do with CGI now. Look at the bugs, look at his eye! Ha! Shere Khan taken out by a bunch of chief bongos. Cape buffalo, water buffalo, whatever, I'm not racist. Man, did it just get really Lion King-y in here? I mean, even after watching Mufasa meet his end, this isn't something I really would know to be afraid of. But this looks terrifying and is really stressing me out. Cute wolf pups are just always a win. I feel like this is Red Wedding type betrayal. You come into someone's territory, act passive, and then sucker punch him? I just can't believe you guys killed Aquila. But Gus Fring was as cocky and steadfast to the end as last time. And this is still a better death than last time. But seriously, as much as I hate this, it does give so much more weight to Mowgli's return and final decision. And I guess we were wrong about the pack of wolves taking on a tiger. Well, at least when their leader's gone. Again, mudslides. Not something I really thought to be scared of. Consider me afraid. This is a civet. He may actually rival Gray in cuteness.
You wanna bite?
Attempted generosity.
Don't be scared. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Run, Mowgli, she's lying. She's AI gone mad. Man, talk about setting up tension. Everything from the way the camera keeps creepily panning around Mowgli to Kaa's voice seeming to envelop and surround him, as if he's entered a whole new world, but the bad kind with less flying carpets. And another amazing translation of Kaa's rainbow hypnotizing eyes adding to this nebulous feeling with the wavy background. Although Kaa gave us a little comedy relief in the cartoon, giving her some much needed exposition as a way to trick Mowgli is an inspired touch. So at this point I rolled my eyes just a tad, fearing that I was sitting through another humans are evil, don't use tools, don't create fire, stop being human message. But this movie actually takes an unexpected and refreshing turn.
And that cub was you.
And we get another movie that doesn't hide obvious information from us for no reason other than a duh reveal later on. While in the cartoon, Bagheera just sort of decided to take care of Mowgli, this time it's his helplessness combined with his apparent fearlessness of a giant black panther that seems to win Bagheera over. Also snake hugging.
Trust in me.
No, Ka, we hate that song. So, bears do eat honey, but we all know the most notorious bear honey eater. And Ka was originally voiced by Winnie the Pooh, so subtle reference, Win?
No, it's not. It's a man cub.
You have never been a more endangered species than you are at this moment.
More honesty.
Oh boy, here we go again.
It's not a monkey, Fred.
It's a man cub.
A man cub?
Yeah.
Somehow Favreau got Sam Raimi to voice the squirrel, and another fun fact, Jon Favreau himself is voicing the pig. Or piglet, if that's Winnie.
It's nature's ointment. I put it everywhere.
Medical advice.
The red flower doesn't seem so bad.
Let it loose and it destroys everything it touches. Don't ever play with it.
Well played, Favreau. Smokey the Bear handing out forest fire lessons?
I use my tricks.
What tricks?
Everything that I built, it's not the wolf way.
Who cares? The wolf way. That's the Mowgli way.
The first animal to accept Mowgli as he is. Just a heartwarming conversation.
But I would personally appreciate, as a personal favor to me personally,
They did some motion capture on this film, but from what I understand, they didn't technically mocap Bill Murray. They did film him reading lines for reference, but either way, someone in the effects studio deserves an award. Or another award, I guess, beyond the Oscar. When you add his words to that bear's face, it might as well be Bill Murray. And it still somehow honors the original.
The cuckoo bird sneaks its eggs into the nests of simpler birds. And do you know what happens to our own chicks? They starve and die.
Sinister life lessons. And a threat metaphor. Threataphor? That would give Commodus a run for his money. Ha! Cuckoo bird! And no other chicks. Oh. Man, I just love these realistic animal movements. Like Baloo having his head down, but his eyes are still following the action. And Bagheera's subtle little realistic ear twitch.
Go to the second mark.
got it?
Got it.
Easy trigonometry win?
Their necessities of life will come to you.
Wherever I
This is one of those times they managed to recapture that lighthearted, carefree fun of the first film. Saving Hathi Jr. You know, you get thrown around the jungle by monkeys, grabbed and whipped with branches, you're gonna come out the other end with some scratches and wounds.
It's doable if I don't have to go too high.
Now Baloo gets to prove his real feelings for Mowgli after his White Fang moment,
I certainly never thought of you as my friend.
especially after confessing his fear of heights.
I'm afraid of heights.
Anyone else in the mood to watch Congo? Yeah, I thought so. King Louie clearly has a fever, to which the only prescription is more cowbell.
You ever had a taste of the pawpaw fruit down there in Cini?
Baloo's written songs about it. Starting with Ka and then really nailing it home with King Louie, it's almost as if this film is entirely Mowgli's perception of reality, in that a lot of the threats that he comes across are literally larger than life.
Call me Louie.
I'm in charge, and I've got a plan.
It better involve a grass skirt and coconuts. Well, between the two characters allowed to sing their signature songs, I've gotta say that Baloo obviously makes sense since he just doesn't have a care in the world, and King Louie doesn't have anyone close to touching his throne, so why not sing? And somehow walking still makes it intimidating. Really, the only thing missing is the trumpet monkey.
It won't want for nothing. Never again.
And dropping the racial stereotype from the animated film and making him more of a mob boss. Wait. Whatever, it's Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken is always a win.
The legends do you no justice, sir. You are truly enormous.
Compliments.
Wait. I have...
I love that the monkeys have absolutely no effect on Baloo. Gotcha! So it's a cliche jump scare, but you'll notice that right here, Louie totally notices Mowgli. So at least it wasn't one of those impossible ones. Stop, drop, and roll. Good for fire, good for monkeys. This might be the most intense translation from the cartoon's pillars collapsing. Another great view through Mowgli's eyes at the man village. It's completely foreign and fearsome to him as it should be. You know how I feel about reflections in eyes. Really, it's just another impressive showcase of CGI with the flame reflected and then illuminating the animals' faces.
Dear God, I'm not afraid of you.
Courage.
may prosper,
But the wolf that breaks it will die.
Standing up to a bully for your family. Sometimes propaganda can be good. I remember wondering how Favreau would handle this fight scene from the animated version, worrying about CGI blood. But much like the rest of the action, he manages to make it intense without being gruesome or too terrifying.
Can't fight him like a wolf. You're not a wolf. Fight him like a man.
Finally, this is what I was talking about earlier. All the anti-human stuff turns out to be nonsense. Of course Mowgli should build tools and be creative. He's human! All Mowgli wanted was to find his place in this world, and it was hard to be constantly told he was doing things the wrong way. This acceptance from Bagheera is everything for him. No! Teamwork! And now all of Mowgli's tricks finally come full circle as he puts everything he's learned to use in his final trap.
I'm not afraid of you! Do you hear me? I'm done running from you!
This is a huge departure from the cartoon where he was courageous but ultimately just really lucky. Through Bagheera's new faith in Mowgli, he finally realizes that he can actually outwit Shere Khan. I'm thinking we should institute a reassurance forehead licking policy amongst humans. Seems to work well for animals. More teamwork! I wouldn't have thought that they could improve this song, but come on, you all felt that rush of happiness when it came back.
You guys, I'm going.
And then Baloo accidentally crushed one of Mowgli's brothers. Well, would you look at that? Replace the patriarchy with a matriarchy. King Louie's alive. That forced perspective will get you.
Trust in me.
Good move to leave this song out of the movie and instead use it for these Bond-style closing credits. Disney is really hitting their stride with this whole live-action remake paradigm. Part of it makes me feel icky because maybe the member berries are right. Leave those classics alone and stop trying to cash in on nostalgia. And the other part of me says, cool, they're going back to something I know and love and are changing, updating, or improving it in a lot of ways. I'm the type of person that's still holding out hope for a Final Fantasy VII remake. Not to beat a dead tiger here, but since the news of the Matrix remake just came out, let's talk about all the ways that remaking something hurts the original. So obviously there's nothing, and then there's not one way, and let's not forget all the 0 ways. That's right, your original still exists, untarnished. So just chill out, everyone. No one's forcing you to watch Michael B. Jordan. Unless you're me, in which case you people will undoubtedly force me. But back to the new Jungle Book. Killing Aquila was not an improvement. My wife is still upset a week later. Although his death had meaning and impact, and Giancarlo Esposito sold the character very strongly for such a brief appearance. I forgot for most of the movie that Ben Kingsley was Bagheera, which is super surprising considering his voice, so that's pretty impressive. Bill Murray was Bill Murray, and he was great.
Not full hibernation, but I nap a lot.
An actor like Murray was the only choice for such an iconic character with such an iconic voice and attitude. I've got to give the most credit to Neil Seddy as the only real person in the movie. At best, he had an occasional puppet to interact with or Jon Favreau to scare him. And at worst, he was alone in a sea of blue. He definitely brought the Mowgli from the cartoon to life while adding his own flair and memorable personality. The best thing the Jungle Book has going for it is this escalation of established continuity and lore, if you will. Unlike WB's live-action remake next year, Disney's is obviously a remake of their version of the story. So they're able to hit all those poignant moments that stood out in the cartoon version and expand them and enhance them in this grandiose way. And that goes right down the line to the main plot. The original was a straightforward road trip story with a very linear path. Once Mowgli left the wolves, we didn't see too much of them after that. Or at all, I can't really remember. And now we've got a weaving story thread that connects Shere Khan right back to Mowgli's origin and forces him to actually confront his demons rather than just sort of stumble through life and then fall in love with the first girl he sees. It's definitely an improvement on the original story. And keeping Mowgli with his surrogate family, you know, the one that raised him and protected him, even sacrificed their lives for him, gives the ending much more heart and meaning. The technology shown off in this film is amazing. Each locale has its own feel, look, and sounds. You almost have to squint at the sun on the cliffs and you can smell the dark jungle where Kaa resides, shiver from the river and feel the heat from the forest fire in the end. And I'll say again that both versions stand on their own. If you want goofy elephants, 2 interactions with a huge snake, more music, and a less evil tiger with an ambiguous end, watch the animated movie. If you want a Gigantopithecus-sized Louie, amazingly beautiful scenery, a more intertwined narrative, and Christopher Walken being one of the very select number of actors allowed to sing, watch this one.
Oh, Scooby-Doo, I wanna be like you.